Have you ever left a party early and felt a deep wave of relief the moment you closed the door behind you? Not because the people were bad, not because you were rude, but because something inside you was completely empty, like a phone that had been running too many apps at once and finally got to plug in. If that feeling is familiar, this video is going to explain something about yourself that most people will never understand. Society has a word for people like you. Antisocial, boring, too serious. They tell you to open up more, and for years you believe them. You force yourself into loud rooms and smiled through all of it while something inside quietly suffered. But psychology tells a completely different story. The need for silence is not a wound. It is not shyness. It is a deeply wired neurological trait. And the people who carry it are often the most emotionally intelligent and resilient people in any room. They just happen to need fewer people in that room. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from. And if you love deep psychology like this, there is a newsletter community linked in the description to understand why noise exhausts you in a way it does not exhaust others. We have to start inside the brain. Psychologist Hans Eysenck showed that introverts and extroverts are neurologically different. Extroverts have a lower baseline of cortical arousal and seek stimulation from the outside world to feel alive. But if you find peace in silence, your brain is already running loud. When you walk into a noisy room, it does not get energized. It gets overloaded. The conversation you are half listening to, the music in the background, the person laughing too loud, your brain registers all of it simultaneously. What looks like a fun Saturday night to someone else feels like running a marathon to you. And when you finally leave, that relief is not antisocial behavior. It is your nervous system exhaling. Psychologists call this sensory processing sensitivity. Research by Elaine Aron found that roughly 15 to 20% of the population processes stimuli far more deeply than average. These individuals pick up on tension in a room before anyone says a word. They feel the energy shift when someone walks in unhappy, even if that person is smiling. This is not overthinking. This is a different cognitive architecture. And ordinary social environments are exhausting because of it. Here is where most people get it wrong about you. They assume that because you prefer quiet, you must not like people. That is not true. You likely love people deeply, but you have a finite amount of social energy, and you protect it the way someone with a limited budget protects their money. You spend it on depth, on real connection, not on performance that gives you nothing back. Now here is the part no one tells you. The silence you crave is not emptiness. It is a highly productive neurological state. When external noise drops, your brain does not go quiet. It goes to work. Scientists call this a default mode network. It activates when you are sitting alone, staring out a window, taking a walk without your phone. During this state, your brain processes experiences, consolidates memories, and generates creative ideas. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown this network is essential for empathy, self-reflection, and long-term problem solving. The silence is not where you rest. It is where you do your most important work. This is why people who find peace in silence are often described as unusually wise. Albert Einstein spent hours in silent thought before any equation appeared on paper. Agatha Christie solved her most complex plots during solitary walks. These were people who understood silence as a tool, not a problem. Now let us talk about what actually exhausts you most. It is not noise. It is performance. In a large social group, there is an unspoken contract. You are expected to be on, to laugh at the right moments, to match the energy of the room. For someone whose brain is already running at high capacity, this is crushing. You are not just managing the noise. You are managing how you appear to be managing the noise. Psychologists call this emotional labor. And research shows that highly sensitive people feel far more exhausted after events where they felt pressure perform, compared to events where they felt free to be themselves. The performance is the problem, not the people. This is why one-on-one time with someone you trust feels completely different. A long dinner with one close friend leaves you feeling full, not empty. The performance is gone. You could be exactly as quiet as you want, exactly as serious as you feel. That authenticity is energizing rather than depleting. The people who make peace with this share a set of quiet habits. They choose social commitments carefully. They keep their inner circle small, but extraordinarily deep. 5 people who would answer phone at 2 in the morning feels like more than enough. They protect rituals of restoration. A walk taken the same way every morning. An hour in the evening with the television off. These are not quirks. These are maintenance. And because they do not perform, they mean exactly what they say. That makes them the kind of people others turn to when something truly matters. A woman named Diane spent her entire career being told she needed to be more visible, more vocal, more present at networking events. She spent 20 years exhausted, believing something was wrong with her. At 52, she left and started a small consulting practice, meeting clients one at a time. Within 3 years, she had a waiting list. Her clients said she was the only person who truly listened, the only advisor who understood their problem before offering a solution. Nothing about her had changed. The environment had. The trait treated as a liability became the entire foundation of her value. You were not built for the volume of the modern world. That is not a flaw. It is information. You are not broken because silence restores you. You are not cold because you prefer depth over surface. You are not antisocial because loud rooms drain you. You are someone whose mind works best when the noise drops, when the performance stops, when the room is small enough for something real to happen. In a world that has mistaken loudness for strength, the people who guard their silence are doing something quietly radical. They are refusing to perform their own lives. They are living them instead. If this video described you, drop a comment and write the word quiet. I want to know how many of us are out there. And if you are ready to understand yourself at a deeper level, subscribe to this channel. Because this is the kind of psychology we explore here, the kind that does not just explain behavior, it changes how you see yourself entirely.